The Hangar. Most submarines are built to stay out of sight. This one surfaced in daylight on purpose so that it could go flying. The British HMS M2 was a submarine monitor of the First World War, rebuilt in the late 1920s into the first submarine in the world designed to carry an aircraft. It had been launched with a single heavy gun that worked by surfacing until a meter of the barrel cleared the water, firing once and going straight back down. The gun could not be reloaded underwater. One shot was the whole magazine, so the Navy cut it out and put a hangar in its place with a hydraulic catapult and a small seaplane folded up inside. A good crew could surface, open the hangar, throw the aircraft into the air, shut the door, and be under again in a matter of minutes. They practiced it constantly and kept trying to beat their own time. In 1932, she signaled that she was diving off Portland and was never seen again. Divers found the hangar doors standing open and the hatch behind them open too. Around 60 men were lost. It sits in Lime Bay today, upright and almost intact, a war grave that divers are allowed to look at and forbidden to touch. The Battleship. You expect a submarine to fight with torpedoes. This one carried two 8-inch naval guns on a turret on its back. The French Surcouf was commissioned in the 1930s as a cruiser submarine built to hunt merchant ships on the surface across whole oceans. She was 110 meters long and carried a crew of 118. Those guns were the largest caliber the naval treaties of the period would permit on a submarine, and she carried the maximum allowed. She carried a float plane as well, and a compartment fitted out to hold the prisoners taken off the ships she sank. With the turret sitting up forward, it looked like somebody had bolted a garden shed to a whale. It was only steady in a calm sea, and in any real swell, the guns could not be aimed at all. It was one of the largest submarines in the world when it was launched. The rangefinder sat so low to the water that nobody could see far enough to use the range the gun already had. Only one Surcouf was ever built. She went down somewhere in 1942 with 130 men aboard, and the argument about what actually sank her has never been settled. No Navy has mounted a heavy gun turret on a submarine since.
The Kettle. Some submarines are slow because everything underwater is slow. These were slow because they had to put the fire out first. The British K-class were steam-powered submarines, designed before the First World War to keep up with the surface battleship. Batteries could not move a submarine at the speed of a fast warship, so the Royal Navy put oil-fired boilers and steam turbines inside a submarine and sent it to sea, with funnels on top like a small factory. It worked. They made 24 knots on the surface, quicker than any submarine afloat at the time. Diving meant shutting down the boilers, pulling in the funnels, sealing the holes they left behind, and then waiting. The drill took minutes they did not always have. At over 100 meters, the hole was longer than the depth the boat was cleared to dive to. Only 17 were ever completed. On a night exercise in the Firth of Forth in 1918, a line of them running without lights collided with each other and with their own escorts for most of an hour, and by then 2 had sunk. Around 100 men died. It remains the only class of British submarine that did more damage to itself than the enemy ever managed.
The Coffin. Most weapons are designed with some thought for the person operating them. This one was designed with none at all. The Japanese Kaiten was a torpedo with a man inside it, built in 1944 by taking a standard Type 93 torpedo and cutting a cockpit into the middle. It was a little under 15 meters long and a meter across. The warhead was several times the size of anything that torpedo had been built to carry. The pilot steered through a hand-cranked periscope, sitting on a canvas seat with the batteries stacked underneath him. The earliest ones were fitted with an escape hatch. No pilot is recorded as having used it, and later models left it out, so the hatch could not be opened from inside. More than 300 were built. They sank 3 American ships. In the same period, 846 men went down in the submarines that carried them out. The weapon cost more lives to deliver than it ever took. The Minnow. What if the way to sink a battleship was to send a handful of men to do it in something the size of a caravan? The British X-craft were midget submarines built from 1942 to get inside defended anchorages that a full-size boat could never enter. Each was narrower across than a man is tall, and its crew sometimes spent a fortnight shut inside. They carried no torpedoes of any kind. They carried detachable charges of amytal instead, dropped underneath the target and left sitting on the seabed on a timer. 6 of them were towed to northern Norway in 1943 to go after the German battleship Tirpitz. 2 never arrived. The tow ropes parted somewhere in the open sea and took their passage crews down with them. The pair that got inside the fjord laid their charges and put Tirpitz out of action for half a year, and both their commanders came home with the Victoria Cross. A single survivor, X-24,
The Sprinter. Not every strange submarine was a bad one. The Soviet Project 705, which NATO called the Alfa, was a titanium attack submarine that entered service in the 1970s and did exactly the job it was designed for. It ran at 41 knots and dived deeper than the weapons hunting it could reach, faster than their torpedoes could chase. Automation was so complete that it went to sea with a third of the crew a Western boat of that size needed. What made it weird was not that it failed. It did not. It was the reactor, cooled by a mixture of liquid lead and bismuth that turned solid at about 123 degrees. Let it cool below that, and the metal set hard inside the reactor, and the reactor became scrap. The Soviets built a shore plant to pump steam into the boats at their moorings and parked a ship alongside to do the same job. Neither arrangement ever worked properly. The shore plant broke down entirely in the early 1980s, and from then on, the reactors were simply never turned off. 7 were built. It was the only class of warship in history that could not be allowed to go cold. The Firework. Almost every engine ever built needs air to burn anything. This submarine carried its own supply with it. The German Type 17B was a small, very fast submarine built at the end of the Second World War around the Walter turbine, an engine that burned fuel using concentrated hydrogen peroxide in place of oxygen. A conventional boat of the day crawled along underwater. This design managed 25 knots on the turbine. It carried 52 tons of peroxide, a liquid that comes apart violently on contact with almost anything it touches. Only 3 were ever completed. The war ended before any of them fired a shot in anger. One was handed to the British, scuttled overnight by its own engineer, raised, towed to Barrow, and commissioned into the Royal Navy as HMS Meteorite. Her captain's report called her outstandingly difficult to handle on the surface and outstandingly easy underneath it. The Navy ran her for a couple of years, took the notes it wanted, and broke her up for scrap. Not one Type 17B survives anywhere in the world. The apartment block. The last submarine on this list is the biggest ever built, and it finished its career with nothing left to fire. The Soviet Project 941, known in the West as the Typhoon, went to sea in 1981 as a missile submarine meant to sit beneath the Arctic ice and shoot straight up through it. It is 172 meters long and 23 meters wide. The width is the part that gives it away. It is not a single hull at all. It is 2 complete pressure hulls lying side by side inside the outer skin. The missile tubes stand in the gap between the pair, forward of the conning tower. Western missile submarines put their missiles behind the tower, inside a single hull. This one was built around its missiles the way a case is built around a pair of glasses. It displaced about 48,000 tons underwater and took roughly 150 men to sea for months. 6 were built. Then the Cold War ended, the missile the whole hull existed to carry was retired, and its replacement was canceled before it arrived. 3 were cut up for scrap with American money. The next pair were tied together at a pier in Severodvinsk and left for a decade. The last was kept afloat as a test bed for a newer weapon and quietly retired in 2023. It remains the largest submarine ever built and the only one that outlived the weapon it was made to carry.